Yeah, welcome to today's tutorial slash lecture on how to identify fake currencies. How do you actually identify fake currencies? There are something you do that you will know this person is not just saying simply for saying sake. He's actually sure. So it's like an act in the sense that you've actually studied and you're very sure and confident of what you are saying that this is it. So it's act and science. It's not just something somebody just pick up and say this is a fake currency or this is real currency. Because people who are manufacturing fake currencies are really going depth to make sure that it looks more like the original. That is why it's very, very difficult for you to identify fake currency if you're not used to the original. The best way to identify fake currency is getting to study the original currency very well. So modern banknotes are engineered with sophisticated covert and overt security features in the sense that for professionals to be able to imitate or emulate the model on which these currencies are produced, it becomes very, very difficult. Yes, it becomes very, very hard for you to bring up the idea of funny money with real money and say it's the same. So, how do we identify? How do we know this is fake or real money? First, with the feel. When you touch it, how does paste in your hand looks like? What are the physical properties? Before looking at the bill, use your hand. Real currencies uses specialized paper and printing processes that are difficult to replicate. If it's easy to replicate, it will not be called money. So it's very difficult to replicate. Anybody cannot just carry it into his room and begin to produce the money. No. What about the materials used in producing currencies? Most banknotes like the USD are not actual papers. Like they are not really papers. It's a blend of cotton and linen. So when you feel it in your hand, if you are used to the original, you easily know the differentiation between the fake and the real. This gives them a crispy, durable feel. That's why many people would ask, like in the first lecture, we discussed about some properties of money. Yeah, some properties to show that this thing can serve as money. You cannot just put it in your pocket and it falls apart. No, those properties must be there to show that this can serve as money. So the fake ones often feel like standard good plot papers because it's fake, it's not real. But trying to be like the real one, it's a kind of overly waxy. So the texture is different. So the best way to get to know fake money from the real money is study the original one very well. Study the real money very well. Resist ink interglow printing. So the way it is printed, so when you get hold of the real money, run your fingernails across the portrait or the United States of American text. You should feel distinct ridges. So when you pick up a USD, you should be able to run your hand across, use your fingernails to run your hand across the written currencies. So you feel some distinct ridges. Counterfeits are usually flat. So when you place your hand over it, you see that it's just as flat as if it's written with ink, because they were not properly printed like the original ones. Let's talk about the thickness. Genuine bills are pressed with thousands of pounds of pressure during printing. So when it's being printed, you'll find out that the printing process becomes thicker compared to genuine bills are pressed with thousands of pounds of pressure during printing, making them thinner and more snappy than counterfeit papers. It's very easy. If you get hold of it, you'll be able to identify the difference. But the best way is to study the real one, the look, taste, physical indicators. Hold the bill up to a light source to reveal features embedded inside the papers. If you have a currency with you, that's why in the bank you find out many a times there is enough light, and most times you have them fixing Blu-ray close to the cashiers to enable them immediately spot fake ones. Yes. So inside you'll find out that there are some drawings, there are some embedments inside the papers. Those embedments makes it easier for you to differentiate the real from the fake. What about watermark? A faint image of the person on the portrait should appear in the white space to the right. It should be visible from both sides and shouldn't be printed on the surface. In fact, it's like the process of printing all currency is the same. Yeah, the process is the same. So if at all there is a drawing which signifies that particular note, maybe a head of state or anything at all, the drawing should appear on both sides in a way that it's easily understood and differentiated if anyone tries to manipulate it. So security thread. 18 vertical strips run through the bill. When you pick up a currency, it's like there is always a line in between that looks like a rope. If you are finding it very difficult to identify, just flash it to the light. The rope will be very, very visible. That is how you just know that if it's not there, there's nothing you can do. When you just put a razor or a scissors on the currency, that place will just go open. So a little tip on that: on US dollars, this thread glows a specific color under UV light. For example, the $5 thread glows blue, the $20 thread glows green, and the $100 glows pink. So it's easier for you to understand what is going on. Another one is microprinting. Look for tiny text that appear as a solid line on the naked eyes, but is legible under a magnifying lens. E.g., that is, use 5. E.g., that is to say, the USA 5 inside the 5. If you pick a currency or a note and it's a $5 note, within the $5, or say where it is written this is $5, you should be able to understand that there is a kind of magnification between those five, the five that is written, in a way that if you use your physical eyes to look at it, it's easier for you to spell out compared to when it is used under a magnifying lens. So there's lots and lots to study about real and fake money. The tilt test, that is the optical features. Move the bill back and forth to see if the colors or images changes. Color shifting ink on newer $10, $20, $50 and $100 bills. The number in the bottom right corner shifts color, usually copper or green when tilted. So when you pick the bill or the note, you flash it on the light, you find out that sometimes the color changes as you flash it. So you have to be very, very observant when flashing it to avoid picking up the counterfeit against the real. 3D security ribbon. On the $100 bill, there is a blue ribbon woven into the paper. As you tilt the bill, the balls inside the ribbon changes to 100x and they move in different direction than your tilt. So when you are moving the note on the light, maybe you're using your UV light, your blue light, your white light, whichever, the sparkling of the 100 moves in different direction. It's easy for you to notice that this one is original, and when you pick up the fake one, this one is fake. In our lens lecture, we are bound to consider actually what actually is the purpose of this money. Why is this money produced? What can you actually do with money that will make you smile? It's your boy Money Place. See you on the next one.